How's it going, guys? Cameron here, it's Canadian Gamer, coming at you with another video. Not a lot to talk about, to be honest with you. There's two things I wanted to talk about today. And one of the things I wanted to talk about, we have mentioned it before on the channel, but it's like, with all of these games that are coming out lately, it's so overwhelming. You know, you have Super Mario Wonder coming out on the Switch. There's a new Sonic game, which looks like trash, that's coming out. Flashback to the Quest for Identity. We've got obviously Starfield that recently came out. New Forza Motorsport game coming out. Alan Wake 2. The downloadable content for Cyberpunk 2077. We've got a bunch of new games coming out in 2024. I could go on and on and on. But like, when is it enough? You know what I mean? You can't play all these games at once. At some point, and I'm just speaking for myself, but I'm sure some of you can probably agree with me at least a little bit. You might have 5 or 6 games that you're really, really chomping at the bit to play, but you simply can't go and buy those 4 games if you're still working on one over here. What's the point of going out and buying all these other games? I only say that because we've all been guilty of it. But like I was talking about in my last video, I would love to play Alan Wake 2, but I simply cannot do that when I'm playing this. Back in the day, back in the 80s and 90s, it was a different world. Video games, the releases, they weren't few and far between, but they weren't coming out like they are now, where you're getting new games every week. I'm not even talking about some of those indie games that come out. A lot of the indie games, excuse me. But it's crazy. It's crazy. So, yeah, you gotta sort of just, curb the anxiety. If you're feeling that sort of anxiety where there's a bunch of games that are coming out that you really want to play, but you're overwhelmed with what's on your plate, just don't worry about it. Those games will be there. They'll be there when you're ready for them. Just focus on what you're playing now, and when you're done with those games or whatever game it is you're playing, again with me, Starfield, then just simply move on to the next one. Just take your time, because I'm telling you, if you go out and you buy, a bunch of games that pique your interest while you're still playing a game that you haven't beaten, what's going to happen is you're going to put that game down, and then you're going to go, oh, I want to play this game over here. Then you're going to play that for 5 minutes, and then you're going to go, oh, I want to play this game over here. And then you end up with a bunch of games that it's like a Chinese buffet. You want to taste everything, but you couldn't be bothered to sit down and just enjoy one thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, so just be mindful of that. The other thing I wanted to talk about, I thought it was an interesting topic. If any of you out there happen to watch this video and you want to post a response, either leave it in the comments below, or if you want to post a video response. I wanted to talk about, have you ever had a time where you spent a lot of money on a game that was just not very good? Two examples that come to my mind. I guess they would be considered retro, but back when I first started collecting for the original Xbox, I really wanted to pick up the original Fatal Frame. Excuse me, can't even talk. Fatal Frame. I had never played it before. I heard good things about it, and it came out on the original Xbox, and it's also available on the PlayStation 1, or excuse me, the PS2. Very hard to find, very sought after. To this day, I've never seen a copy for either console out in the wild. And I went to a boutique retro video game store in Ottawa shortly after, again, I started collecting for the original Xbox, and I saw Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly. And I think at the time, I paid $50 for this, which is it's quite a lot of money for an original Xbox game. It is mint, it is complete in box, and I'm sure it is a good game. Visually speaking, it's very impressive looking. It's a very beautiful looking survival horror game. Or is it? Or is it a survival horror game? because from what I played, I didn't play it for very long, but I just couldn't get into it. I could not get into it. Which is a shame, because I feel like this is the type of game that should pique my interest, but I don't know. I don't know if it was the control scheme. I don't know if it had to do with, the fact that your weapon is your camera and you're taking pictures of ghosts. I don't know. Maybe I need to give it another chance. But all I'm saying is I jumped the gun and I paid $50 for this. And I played it, and while it looks really good, I don't know if it's for me as far as the gameplay is concerned. So that was a boneheaded purchase by yours truly. And the other one, I think this was about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago at this point. I was in Kingston, and I went to another retro boutique store, and they had this game for the Xbox 360, which is quite uncommon. Never seen it out in the wild. I'm not going to say it's super expensive, but yeah, it's probably going to cost you $30 or $40 if you go on eBay. I think I paid close to $30 for it when I bought it. And that's Blood Drive. I heard a lot of good things about this. I heard it was really good. Don't know if this came out on the PS3. It might have. It's a car combat game, a la Twisted Metal or Carmageddon, but it's not as good as either of those games or franchises, excuse me. But yeah, Blood Drive, another one. I bought this because I had heard good things about it. I think it was Dean Thompson that steered me wrong on this. Many moons ago when I used to watch his videos, I think he was going on about this like it was the second coming of Christ, like he does with all of his games. And yeah, so I have Blood Dragon, wow. Blood Drive. And it's really not good. I don't think it's good at all. I did play this one. I just really think it's extremely mediocre. Do I regret buying it? No. It is cool to have it in the collection. It is very uncommon. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this goes for now. I haven't looked. But, yeah, these are my two games. My two boneheaded purchases. I know there's other ones out there that I could talk about as well. But, I remember when I first started collecting for the Xbox 360, I went out and I bought Rage, full price, brand new Rage at EB Games. At the time is what it was called. Now we've adopted GameStop. Excuse me. Wow, I can't speak today. And yeah, I bought Rage, and I remember bringing that home, and I was pretty underwhelmed with that, and I ended up trading that in. That was another one. I paid full retail for Rage. Nah. So, yeah, that's it. Just a short video. Just wanted to give my thoughts on crappy games that I ended up spending a lot of money to acquire. And those two would be, I guess, at the top of my list. Okay? Okay, Marceau? So leave it in the comments below. What are your thoughts on that? What do you guys think? What are your guys' thoughts? Leave it in the comments below. And I'll be back with something shortly within the next few days. Until next time, guys, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.